Hello everybody and welcome to Virginia. Today, the Virginia Cavaliers and your Wake Forest Deacons will go toe-to-toe in an ACC matchup. In the Coastal, Virginia is 5th. They are 0-1 in conference play. For Wake Forest, they are 2nd in the Atlantic at 1-0 in conference play. So a spot to be in the top 3 for Wake Forest is on the line in conference play. Wake Forest comes in at 3-2. Virginia at 2-3. A lot to lose, a lot to gain. It should be a lot of fun. Dustin Thomas coming off a miracle game against Duke. And then there's Desmond Wortham. Of course, every week, the redshirted senior after last year, he will be also under the microscope. So everything those two boys do today and all year long will be graded every second. So with that said, we are just about ready to get it on here from Scott Stadium in Virginia, and it should be a fun one. Wake Forest, Virginia, let's get it rolling. Kickoff underway. Wake Forest wins the toss. They elect to receive, and it will be Harris to take it out of the end zone. Tyree Harris makes a move. He's got room to rely on the outside. He's going to go down to the 33, and that's where Dustin Thomas and Desmond Wortham will take over for the Deacons. First play from scrimmage. Thomas read option. Last week, Duke couldn't stop him. This week, so far, 6-yard run. 2nd and 4. Now 2nd and 4 from about the 34-yard line. And it's going to be a 5-yard rush for Desmond Wortham. And that is a new set of chains. Correction, Wake Forest started this drive around the 25. So, no confusion there. 3rd and 9 now after Curtis Crosby catches a catch that actually loses a yard. And then on 3rd and 9, the drive wouldn't end because Dustin Thomas finds Anthony Johnson for 16. 3rd and 16, Desmond Wortham. Slip screen does not go, and Virginia does get a stop. However, Wake Forest does waste half the quarter on one possession, so it's a good possession and all. However, Virginia now will have time to do what they do. The punt lands Virginia at their own 3, and Trent Moore, well, he's going to have an interesting day. You'll find out soon enough why. First carry for him, 4 yards. Second carry for Trent Moore, he gets 7 yards. That picks up a first down, so just like Wake Forest. 4 yards, 7 yards, basically identical. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Let's see if they can get it rolling. Actually, yeah, from the 15th. That was from the 20. From the 15, Randall Fry. Frying up the defense. There is a flag on the play, but it is defensive holding against Trent Moore. And the Deacons take a 6-0 lead. So, from the 15 to the end zone the other way. Wake Forest 7-0. 2nd and 6. Corwin Cutler back to pass. Finds his man Everson. And that's Maurice Everson with a 10-yard reception. So, Virginia, they're going to try it again. Trent Moore, yeah, this is why we were talking about an interesting day. Trent Moore once more, and he got it to the house. 76-yard rush. And the Cavaliers, just like that, are 1 point away from tying the game. You see Wake Forest get there, but unfortunately for them, they could not bring down the man. So Trent Moore to the house, tied up at 7. First quarter still 2:40 to play. 2nd and 8. Slip screen to Desmond Wortham. Thomas gets it off. Wortham just gets away. He picks up 11 yards on the 8-yard conversion, and now it's a new set of chains. 1st and 10 again. Anthony Johnson again. 22-yard catch. 2 catches, 38 yards, having himself a heck of a day. Really underrated this year and every year when he is on the field. 1st and 10 now. Wortham handoff. Wortham's got room. He will take it to the 20, 10, Stiff arm down at the 6, and just like that, before the end of the first, Wake Forest is in the red zone. And from there, Dustin Thomas dusting off Virginia defenders. Touchdown Deeks. 14-7 pending the PAT. And the kick is good, so we go into the first quarter. 14-7, Wake Forest. 3rd and 12, Cutler. Shotgun right, is Trent Moore. Cutler picked off again. This time by Eric Byers, and Byers beware, because you have got yourself a thief on the run. Interception number 2 of the day for Corwin Cutler. Wake Forest will take possession at the Virginia 25, 3rd and 11 after a couple of plays. Dustin Thomas rolls to 1-yard gain. So on that, we bring out our kicker, Alexander King, and King is good. 17-7, Wake Forest leads Virginia Cavaliers. Studio update, Duke Clemson from Duke. 10-7 Clemson, they are coming into this matchup 9th in the nation. So far, it's been all Clemson's defense. Back to our game in Virginia. 1st and 10, and this one is going to go to Valor's. Corwin, no interception here. Finds his man Max Vallis, and that is a first down for Virginia. However, they are down 10, so they do have to be conservative. Speaking of conservative, Trent Moore, anything but on that stiff arm. We're going to get a replay, and you're going to see the very ending of this. Yeah, that was a hard shot to take. Now Virginia from the Wake Forest side of field. Andre LeBron. Touchdown Cavaliers. They make it a 1-score game, or a 1-possession game, however you want to look at it, with the kick. And at halftime, it's 17-14. However, Wake Forest is on top. They did come into this game as underdogs. So we're going to send it to the booth for the halftime show. Boys, take it away.
Innovation that excites. David Pollack and I here in the studio to break down everything that just happened in your game. David, when we've talked offensive coordinators everywhere, one of their key phrases, chunk plays or explosive plays, whatever the vernacular is, they want big chunks of yardage in the passing game. Well, so far, these two teams are completing passes, but they're not getting chunks of yardage.
Yeah, and unless you make a defense honor the deeper passes, if you just keep throwing screens real quick on the outside and they keep tackling you and wrapping you up, then you're not getting that yards after the catch, then I don't have to back up. I don't have to honor that deep ball. It makes it a lot easier to defend. So they got to find more creative ways to push the ball down the field a little bit, get bigger plays, because it's hard to sustain drives all the way down the field. You got to have those big plays to make it a little bit easier on an offense and get them in scoring position sometimes, or sometimes just score outright from the 50-yard line.
Looking forward to seeing this second half. I think there's certainly a want for victory.
A want and a need for victory. Some teams need this victory, Reese Davis.
Want, need, got to go get it either way.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Welcome back to the second half here in Virginia. 17-14, Wake Forest on top of the Cavaliers. 1st and 10 from the Virginia 45, Dustin Thomas. He will go down here. Not a good start to their first drive of the second half, as Virginia flip-flops and they take 5 minutes off of the third quarter, just like Wake Forest did to the first quarter. But you know what? Dustin Thomas says, that's fine. Let me use my legs to scramble. And he does just that. Picks up a good chunk of yardage. However, on 3rd and 9, Anthony Johnson with the 9-yard catch. 3rd one of the day for him, 47 yards. He's short, but Coach Mathis says, you know what? If we're underdogs, we're taking them. 4th and inches, fullback dive, gets it done, and then on the drive in the red zone, 3rd and 2, it would finally come to a stop. Dustin Thomas on a read option, slot option, to the left side of the field. They do not convert that 3rd down, so field goal by King makes it a 6-point lead. However, Corwin Cutler, Mr. Cutthroat Cutler, picked off by Eric Byers again, and twice as nice with a little cherry on top. Interception Number 3 for Cutler. Eric Byers jumps the route. Spin move to perfection, and then just to assure himself he's not getting touched, a little cherry on top dive. And if things couldn't get worse for Cutler, oh, how wrong. Marvin James, the D tackle, picks it off on the slip screen, and then Desmond Wortham does what he does best, punches it in from anywhere on the field, and it's 34-14 Wake. However, Cutler said, I'm done with my arm, let me use the legs. 5-yard rush, though, doesn't get him anywhere, and on 4th and 2, Valles in motion, handoff, Cole Clark, get in there, young man. Touchdown, Cavaliers. Cole Clark's first of the game. He is the backup to Trent Moore, and maybe they use Clark a little more. But you know what? Wake Forest just trying to kill clock. Unfortunately for them, their secondary help this year has not been the greatest. That's where they lose most of their battles, and Cutler knows that. And he fires it deep to Keon Johnson. And Keon is right on. Touchdown, Virginia. However, the onside kick falls short. And 330 yards for Virginia also falls short. 34-28 W. On the road, away. Eric Byers, your player of the game. 2 interceptions. 1 pick six, 3 tackles, and a tackle for loss. Virginia falls to 2-4 overall, 0-2 in conference play. Wake Forest to 4-2, 2-0 in conference play. They are now in the top 3 in the ACC Atlantic. Next week, we'll see if they can continue their dominance, make it 3 straight wins. We will see later from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and wherever the Deacons go to take on their football rivalries. It's ACC time in college football in 2017. We hope you enjoyed this presentation of Wake Forest football. Once again, Wake Forest 34, Virginia 28. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.